So I just got done watching the Oscars, and that was pretty fun. And if anyone even cares or even can notice, I'm actually in a different recording area. I'm actually in my girlfriend's little room here. But yeah, the Oscars just got done, and I try to watch the Oscars every year. I feel like I've been watching for the past like 5 or 7 years or so. Definitely way before the Will Smith slapping like a lot of normies do. And a lot of people are saying that like the Oscars nowadays are kind of not even serious anymore. It's kind of like a joke nowadays. There's definitely been a lot of people who's been saying that for a long time, and I wouldn't say I'm one of those people today, but I can understand why people are like that because of the Oscars this year. Now, thankfully, the film that I absolutely hated out of all the films I got nominations, Emilia Perez actually didn't even get that many awards. It actually only got 2, and I am so fucking happy because that movie was so goddamn fucking awful. It was such Oscar bait, and I will keep saying it over and over again. It is such a awful movie. No one should even bother wasting their time in watching it. Yeah, trust me, do not watch Emilia Perez. It is such a waste of time. Now, one thing I've wanted to talk about is recently I've changed my mind on my favorite films when it comes to 2024. Essentially, when it comes to the top 3 movies, I will definitely say that, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but out of the movies that are getting nominations from the Oscars, Wild Robot, Nosferatu, and at number 1, I now really love this film, Better Man is the best films that came out in 2024, and that's just my opinion. I really wanted these films to, get some recognition, and yeah, they got recognition in the nominations, but they didn't win anything, and I'm really, really disappointed. Now, at the end of the day, the Oscars are a bunch of like old fucking people who like love to watch the same type of movies over and over again, and then only when there's an obvious movie that was genuinely better than everything else, that's what they'll give the award to. It happened with Parasite because of course Parasite was the best film that came out that year. Nothing else was even close. I'm really upset that Nosferatu and especially Better Man, because I love that film. Those 2 films are amazing, especially Better Man, like I will keep saying. It is so upsetting that those films didn't win anything. I really wish they would have, but at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's just the Academy. What does matter is your own opinion, and everyone should enjoy the films they love, and no one should ever take that away from them. I'm gonna have to leave my door open here, and because my cat keeps wandering in and out, so you might hear him in the background. Yeah, that's Klaus. But hey, I can take wins where I can take them. Like I said, Emilia Perez barely won anything, yet it still got 13 nominations. That's still fucking insane. But hey, it only got 2 wins. A lot of films pretty much got 1. There was Wicked, Dune 2, and Emilia Perez, they only got 2. The Brutalist got 3 wins, and Anora got 5. And Anora was a film that I said that I was going to watch. And I did watch it recently. Now here comes a bit of a shocker to a lot of people. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to say this right here and now. I would consider this a little mini review because I don't really feel like making a whole video about this film. I thought Anora was the most mid-fucking movie I have ever seen in 2024. I know, it's a complete shock to a lot of people. So I really did want to like Anora as a film. I thought its premise and its story seemed a little cool or interesting. I thought it was gonna, tell a really good story. But if anything, the story was the part that I actually disliked the most, especially also the characters and their chemistry and the meaning behind this film and the pacings and the settings. Well, the settings was fine, but all the other things I just mentioned were really bad in this film, and I just cannot say that they were good. Consider the spoilers. The story is about a girl named Anora who is a stripper at a strip club, and one day he meets up with this guy who's like this Russian foreigner who's there on a vacation trip, and they hook up, they meet up, and they have a lot of sex, they smoke a bit, and they grow an attachment to each other. They like each other a lot. They go on a bunch of crazy trips and parties because they really vibe with each other. Like 50 minutes into the movie, the main guy, I don't even remember his name, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter because I don't even like him. The main guy, the Russian guy, just proposes to Anora and they just get married and they live happily ever after. And it seems like this film's going to just continue the story and like see what happens. Maybe it's going to be a film about their downfall. Maybe a lot of drama's about to happen. And yeah, that does. What I wasn't expecting is for the second half of the movie to be completely boring and a complete waste of fucking time. Let me look him up. The main actor who goes by Vanya is like this party boy. He's very young. I'm pretty sure the movie says he's 21. He does enjoy spending time with Anora, smoking, playing video games, and going out and partying, playing, I think I said playing video games, and especially having sex. In fact, the film pretty much cuts to them having sex, I want to say like 5 times in the first half of the film, maybe not, I don't know, and I'm definitely not going back to watch it to confirm that. Eventually, Vanya gets like a surprise visit from his family's like goons, who's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You can't be married to this girl, but they got married in Vegas, so actually it was legal, and this whole thing happened where his father's goons tries to stop this marriage because he's supposed to marry someone else and have this whole arranged marriage situation. What are you doing? He was supposed to have this whole arranged marriage to this other girl and this other family, basically. But Vanya really loves Anora and he wants to stay with her. And eventually, well, by the way, it's not his dad who sent the goons. It's like his mother's like godfather, from what I read. He's like involved in the family and he sent his goons to like pick up Vanya and be like, hey, what the fuck, you gotta get dressed. But eventually Vanya gets so scared he actually runs the fucking way, and quite literally he runs away out of this film. He doesn't even show up for the film for the last 15 minutes of the goddamn film. So now it's like Vanya's mother's godfather character, who I'm just gonna call his uncle, I don't give a fuck. His uncle and like these 2 henchmen, one of them is named Igor, he'll come in later, trust me. And they're now tasked with finding Vanya, and they're searching all throughout the city. And the second half of the film takes place with them searching through all the places they went on dates and all the places they went to recently to try to find them. And it turns out Vanya was at the well, I mean, I don't know where he was before, but later in the night after finding him, because they're up really late, he was at the fucking strip club where he met Vanya, and it was like, no fucking shit. I called this film so early on. It's so fucking predictable. The writing is so fucking lazy, like a fucking course. He's gonna be in the place that he met Anora. Even in the film, there was even like a scene where like the guy was like, hey, Anora, come back to visit us, and it's like, okay, so she's probably gonna come back, or else why would they ever say that? That's usually how that happens. I mean, not all the time, but I was fucking right in this situation. So yeah, he turns out to be there, and it turns out that Vanya's actually a piece of shit because he was trying to fuck this other stripper that has beef with Anora. Whatever. And Vanya pretty much spills the beans like, I actually never loved you, Anora. I'm just a fuckboy, party boy. We have to go back to this other place where we got married to get a divorce, separate. All that happens. The parents gets involved, and Nora stands up for herself because like she's seen as like a low class person because she's a stripper or whatever, and she defends herself. All that shit, and that, you know, that's pretty cool. And the whole time, she was looking for Vanya. And, like, it turns out, oh, Vanya didn't give a fuck this entire time. So it was like, oh, okay, cool. So that relationship was kind of a waste of time and didn't really develop into anything. It's really cool to see 2 characters go on this, like romance journey and go to all these places, have all this fun, and all for it to just be like, I was just fucking around. I didn't really love you, Anora. You should have realized this. But thankfully, Anora had one of the goons that was, like, almost holding her hostage, but not really, like, you know, trying to comfort her, trying to have small talk. And I swear to God, the guy, his name is Igor, throughout the entire fucking film, he just kept staring at Anora like a fucking just weirdo. There was just no chemistry between him and Anora. And the reason why I'm saying that is because after they officially got divorced and she had to go back home, Anora realized that Igor is an okay guy, nice guy, and she ended up having sex with him in the car because he was like nice to her and like got her the ring that she had with Vanya. Yeah, deadass, that's how the film ends. I just do not give a fuck about this film. I didn't learn anything from the film. I didn't think the chemistry between Anora and Igor was built at all. I didn't believe it. It wasn't really that great, if anything. The pacing was all over the fucking place. It felt like half of the first movie was just a montage of them having fun and like the 2 main characters getting to know each other, but it doesn't really matter because the second half of the film is now just this, oh, where did he go? We got to go through all the places we went in this film. We got to go to all the places we went on dates. It's just like, whatever. I already mentioned it before, but like there was just nothing to learn from this fucking film at all. Like what was I supposed to take away from this? Usually the films that I give a high score, there's usually a lot to take from it and a lot to learn about it and a lot to think about. I didn't have that experience with anything in this film. I also just did not like any of the characters. Anora, the girl who played Anora, she's a really good actress. I thought she did a fine job, but I didn't really like her character at all. I didn't really like attach myself to her at all. Maybe I wasn't supposed to, but it's like if you're gonna tell a story about you know, a couple, I should at least get attached to one of them, because I didn't get attached to Vanya or Igor at all. They're fucking lame-ass characters. They're so one-dimensional, and like, what am I supposed to fucking learn from this? The story, like I also just described, like, it's so predictable. I literally called half the film by the time the movie was half over. You just knew what was gonna happen. There pretty much was no soundtrack at all. This movie just felt so, like, lame, like so underwhelming, such a what the fuck did I just watch film. And maybe that's what the director was going for. He wanted to like not be so cliche. I don't really fucking know, but either way, movie's mid. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Okay, I wouldn't say that. Just because I gave it a 5 out of 10, it's not like the worst thing ever. My only issue is it won Oscars that I just truly, I don't believe it should have won. Other movies I really wanted to see, but I never got around to, is The Brutalist, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, as well as I'm Still Here. I do plan on still watching those films, and hopefully I can get to them soon. I also really want to watch Flow. I did end up watching Memoir of a Snail as well as Gromit and Wallace. Those films are pretty okay. Memoir of a Snail is definitely really good. It deals with a lot of adult themes. Wallace and Gromit is just a fine movie. I don't really understand why it has like a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not like the most groundbreaking animated film ever. It's just good. It's just nice. I don't know. Like I mentioned, I really would have loved The Wild Robot to win, but whatever. I always think about Dune. I really want to like Dune, and I've had a lot of talks with people, and they always tell me that they understand why I feel the way towards Dune, how I'm just not interested in the story because of how like it's tried so hard to be so grand and so like deep, but I just don't find it interesting at all. And the pacing and the characters aren't really my cup of tea. And who knows, maybe something will change when Dune 3 comes out, and maybe I'll have my mind change. But as far as now, like, I consider Dune 1 and Dune 2 pretty mid. I don't really think this franchise like can fit into a film. There's just so much to take in, and like I don't even know if there's enough to like make individual like films. I'm pretty sure it works as a book series, but a book series and a film are two different things, and it's very rare for like a film to do a book really good. So I'm done talking about the movies. I mean, the Oscars itself was pretty funny, pretty entertaining. They made fun of Drake and Donald Trump, so that was always pretty fun. There is some people talking about how like we all need to go back to the movie theaters because that's how movies are born, and this is how people get their paychecks, so the rich CEOs doesn't have to fire more people. And like, you know, I don't know if like they're just preaching to the choir or whatever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people go to the movie theaters like they did before. I just feel like the issue is some movies don't really know how to market themselves, and the movies that are marketing themselves, no one gives a fuck about. This brings me into another thing I want to quickly rant about. It's like, I really wish the movies, like the short films that get, you know, nominations in the documentaries, I really wish there was a way we could watch these films. I really feel like they're very interesting, and I do want to watch them. I don't know how. I don't even know where to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could probably find them on like Hulu or Netflix, but for the short films, I genuinely don't know. And if anyone knows where I can go to watch short films and like the documentaries that are always getting nominated, I would love for you to let me know down below in the comments. Also, yeah, The Fireman also came out, made fun of Joker too. There was also like this whole thing about like, there were some times where they talked about how like, they essentially were just talking about how like the industry needs to not use AI. They need to use real people who are real hard workers. The memoriam moments were definitely pretty sad. I definitely forgot that we lost some of the people, like James Earl Jones. Definitely rest in peace. What an amazing voice actor. Oh man. What a great performance he gave in his films he was in. Morgan Freeman even came out to talk about the memoriam and paid homage to Gene Hackman, which I know of him, and I know I've seen him in some stuff, but either way, a loss like that will always be tragic. All right, so time to talk about the winners and I guess my losers. So Best Picture went to Anora. I don't believe this should have won. Out of all the ones that got nominated, I really felt like The Brutalist should have won, and I don't know. And also Wicked. I thought those movies were definitely better. I definitely think Nosferatu and especially Better Man was way better than Anora. So whatever. The Best Actor went to Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, and I'm happy for that. I really wanted Timothée Chalamet to win, but Adam Sandler cursed him, so that's unfortunate. Best leading actress went to Mikey Madison from Anora, and you know, I really would have liked Cynthia from Wicked to win, but whatever. She did fine, but definitely not better than Cynthia. I can only hope, because I'm going to mention it again. I really hope Cynthia and Ariana Grande gives it their all when it comes to Wicked Part 2, because those two should have won Best Actress and Supporting Actress. I do not care. Anyway, Best Supporting Actor went to Kieran Culkin, and I am happy he won. I wanted him to win. His performance in A Real Pain was definitely good. And people, you should watch A Real Pain. It's a really good film. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely really good, and it talks about some real deep shit. Best Supporting Actress went to Zoe Saldana, and I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that Zoe is the same Zoe from Avengers and Avatar. I really didn't want anything from fucking Emilia Perez to win, but whatever. At least it wasn't the actual main actress from Emilia Perez. I'm so glad she did not win. Best Director went to Sean Baker for Anora, so, you know, whatever. Best Cinematography went to The Brutalist. I'm happy for that. I really would have, I really believe that Nosferatu should have won that. That's just snubbed. I don't care. Best International Film was I'm Still Here, and that's kind of no surprise. Even the main actress was nominated for Best Actress, but also this was nominated for Best Picture, so it's pretty obvious this was going to win Best International Film. Conclave won Best Adapted Screenplay, and I'm happy because, you know, I'm always happy when a lot of movies get awards because, for this example, Conclave was just a really good film. Best Original Screenplay went to Anora, and, you know, it's an original screenplay, so I can't really, say too much about this. It would have been cool if The Substance won, but whatever. Best Live-Action Short Film went to I'm Not a Robot. Best Animated Short Film went to In the Shadows of Cypress. I've mentioned it earlier. I really wish I could know these films. I don't really have anything to say about them. Best Oh man, I am losing it right here. Best Animated Film went to Flow, which is a surprise. I really think The Wild Robot should have won, but you know what? I'm glad for Flow. I really am, because Disney lost. Now, Inside Out 2 is a good film. Does it deserve to be the best animated film that came out? I don't know. Usually that should go to the film that actually pushed the envelope when it comes to animation. And that's one thing that I don't think Inside Out really has ever done is its animation isn't groundbreaking or anything. Best Documentary Short went to The Only Girl in the Orchestra, and 2 minutes before they announced the nominations, I was like, I want this to win because it's about orchestra and it talks about stuff that I may like, and it won, so I'm happy. Best Documentary Feature Film went to No Other Land, which is kind of no surprise. It deals with some, stuff going on outside the US. I also kind of guessed this would win. Best Original Song went to Emilia Perez, which, whatever, what the fuck ever. Best Original Score went to The Brutalist for their song, and I'm really surprised. I didn't really think that they would really beat Wicked. I really wanted Wicked to win, but that's upsetting. But either way, The Brutalist seems like it's a good film, and I will be watching it. Best Makeup and Hairstyling went to The Substance, and I really just wish this would have gone to Nosferatu. I get it. If it had to lose, at least it lost to something good. The Substance was really good with its hairstyling makeup, but Nosferatu was just, what the fuck, man? Best Costume Design went to Wicked, and that's a no-brainer. You cannot tell me that they did not deserve that win. At the very least, it could have gone to Gladiator 2, because they had some good costumes, I will say. Best Editing went to Anora, and I completely disagree with this film. At least it didn't go to Emilia Perez again. I also don't really think this film had really good editing. I thought it was just very, it just felt like the movie was just an Instagram reel montage for the first half. I don't know, that's just me. I really would have liked The Brutalist to win, if anything. Best Sound went to Dune Part 2. Oh my god, I just picked the mic. Dune 2 won Best Sound, and I actually agree with this. I think its sound design was really fucking good. Product Design went to Wicked. That's just a no fucking brainer. Of course it was going to win. And yeah, the best visual effects went to Dune Part 2. And I definitely agree with that. I think it did a really good job. I really wish I really wish Better Man would have gotten something just so people can just hear about it. Please, people, watch Better Man. That's gonna be it for this In My Girlfriend's Closet, talk that I'm gonna record at midnight. The Oscars overall was just fine. If I had to even review the Oscars, it'd be like a 4 out of 10. I really don't think Anora should have gotten the awards it got. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, and that's perfectly fine. At the very least, Emilia Perez didn't win shit, so I'm happy. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good night. Here's the 2025 films. So far, we have a lot of good films. I just saw Ninja, and Ninja 2. I will be talking about that soon. So anyway, yeah, have a good night.